Okay, we are here. We are here. We are here, y'all. I had a struggle getting in there tonight. Well, got a lot of sexual tales from the hood. Look, I got some tales from the hood of my own going on right now, just going live. Of course,
Tell
like I
you.
say, y'all, we are live here on Art Imitates Live. Let's see if I could get these things, these announcements out of my way so that we can go all the way live. Let's get ready. Let's go. I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back. And I'm back. My God, I'm feeling like I'm back in broadcast television. But when things go crazy, you're like, what just happened? But we are live. We are all the way live now. And we're going to go in and do the show. Y'all mute out because we're gonna be doing it. My dog keeps coughing. I don't know what's going on with him. He wants to be on the air or what it is, but we're gonna get it together. So I know we are starting a little late. We got a lot of things for our new segment, which is our old segment was tea, but it's going to be who's the tea. So we're gonna be doing that in a few minutes. Please mute out everybody, and we will be right back in just a few moments to get it all kicked off. Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Tandyland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to bring everybody in, but I got to see too if we're going to be on Facebook or not. But let me go ahead and get everybody in. Go ahead and unmute yourselves and come in. We're going to try this whole damn thing all over again. How y'all doing?
Fantastic.
All right. Yeah.
The world.
I just really wish I knew what was going on tonight. I really needed this to bring some God into this because I don't know what else circulating around, but I'm going to dismiss it.
High vibration, baby. High vibration.
Yes, I'm dismissing all that. I'm going to keep my vibration high. Whatever's circulating, this is not what I do, so we're back. How y'all doing?
Good, baby. We rolling here in Nashville, Cashville, Tennessee, baby. Doing what to do.
All right. We're going to start off with Tiana.
Turn it up there, Mike.
Your week. How's your week?
Okay, so feelings, not things. Feelings are like all over the place because a lot of things are happening. But yeah, I've been asked to step up at work, so that has, anxiety around it, trying to live up to the expectations and whatnot, and doing what I can. So high energy, high anxiety, hopefully minimal depression.
Cool. I like that. All right, Element Rose, how was your week?
This week feels like everything's kind of falling into place right now, to be honest. I feel like the path is kind of opening up right now.
Okay, cool. How about Michael? How was your week? You're still muted, Mike.
You're still muted, baby.
Oh shit, my bad. No wonder nobody can hear me. But now, like my week's just been chill. I just been vibing, trying to get into the mindset and the zone of making a transition, and also try to finish up with finals this week of school. So that's it, just chilling. You know what I mean? Doing what I does. You know what I mean?
Okay. Tashiba, thank you for joining us, lady. How was your week?
My week has been full. It's never a dull moment here. It's always full. Been a contractor on my job for almost 2 years, and I finally made the transition to a permanent position. And as I'm doing so, other opportunities are also opening up to me within the business. So everything's been a nice, even flow.
Cool.
You go, girl.
Wonderful. Like that. All right, Margo, I see you're muted, but come on in and tell us how was your week?
Week has been up and down, but other than that, I've been trying to keep my spirits high. So been getting back into the swing of work and a bunch of trainings and just trying to mellow it out and have a good time this weekend, actually. So pretty good.
Okay. All right, pretty good. All right, Pops.
Hey, I ain't cut nobody this week. I wanted to, but I hold back, because they damaged my car and last weekend. So the weekend I just chilled, but Monday came around and no car. The old guy was not a happy guy starting out the week, but if you just stay focused and keep the main thing, everything works out right. So I'm 100% fabulous right now on a Freaky Friday.
I said.
All right. Right. Rickness, how was the week for you? And I said it before, but we were not live. A big congratulations to you and Tashiba for your 15th year anniversary, wedding anniversary.
Man.
To you. How was everything?
It was
good.
fabulous.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Just becoming accustomed and just adjusting like everyday life. It's been exciting this week. Our youngest baby boy, he's about to start his senior year. So we are smelling the finish line.
Yes, we are almost there.
All right.
Question.
Yeah.
How's that feel that he's a senior this year?
Man.
It's mixed emotions.
Yeah, I just changed that boy's diaper like 5 minutes ago. It's like just yesterday, you know what I'm saying? So it's so many feelings. So many feelings.
Okay.
It's bittersweet because he's the baby. He's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But it also feels really good to know we're about to be empty nesters and we are going to do whatever the F we want to do. I'm not going to cuss. Whatever we want to do.
Emphasis. Underline.
There they go, walking around the house naked again.
Hey.
Stop it.
That's what I do. I'm just keeping it REAL.
Listen, Rick walks around the house naked anyway.
Oh, damn.
So I get shocked.
The word is out now.
You.
The word is out. Ding-a-lang, ding-a-lang.
Okay. Well, you know what? Y'all are crazy. You know what I was planning for tonight is to have everything ready for the new segment, but I spent time with our transition of the show, so I didn't get a chance to go back and do the stuff that I wanted for the opening. Plus, I'm really trying to decide what the name of the segment is going to be. I don't want to do just regular What's the Tea. There's a lot out there. So I am thinking more along the lines of who spiked the tea. And so I was gathering my thoughts, and it was just more important this week to get this stuff done for the transition of the show that I didn't get a chance to finish that part. So that's where we are right this moment. Is we are in a place where this segment is an old segment that's going to have a new name. So that's the transition of that. So I don't have an opening, a fancy schmancy opening like I had planned, but we'll work with what we got, which is me just saying, welcome to. That's all I got. That's all I got. I'll give y'all all the cutes and bells and whistles and everything next week. But y'all, I saw different stuff. I mean, like I start looking at stuff probably as soon as we show. And I'm looking at stuff all week long, articles, and it's just so many things that are happening until I just, I try to accumulate all these articles. And so I bring it down at the very end and see what I want to talk about. And there's a couple of airline stories because I be freaking out on these doggone airlines and stuff. So I have a couple of airline stories that I was going to talk to you all about real quickly here. I don't know if you have heard about this, but there's a big brawl on American Airlines because a seat got stuck and these people lost their minds. So they say a wild fist fight broke out between two passengers on an American Airlines flight over a reclined seat that got stuck. And they're saying that the KXAN, isn't that Austin? Yes, Austin. The flight was from New Orleans to Austin, Texas. And then there's some footage for this. I don't have the footage on hand, but it shows one man wagging his finger in the other one's face, and the other one punches the man, and it just goes into this whole big thing. Let me just ask you all, I mean, this is not a huge story. I'm going to go way in detail. Do you all just feel like people are just so doggone upset right now, just uptight right now that anything can trigger them into some type of a brawl? Is that what you feel is happening out there?
I think everybody's ready to fight at this point
Yeah,
over one thing or another.
Yeah, I
Right.
think we got. It's just the basic thing. Like you get caught up in a cave for too long, you're gonna come out a little bit more aggressive than you went in, just because you've been so isolated and been outside of your comfort zone. A lot of people have been having to look at themselves and look at who they really are, and maybe they ain't really liking what they're seeing, and they
Yeah,
don't know how to
Right.
change it. So they're taking their aggravation out on the world around them.
yeah. You stick a can of soda too long, you know what's gonna happen.
Exactly, it's just gonna
Right.
pop.
I
Yeah,
think also is people don't understand what they're seeing too.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
bigger.
We're in a
Behind
transition.
there's a lot of going on behind the scenes. We get
Yeah.
so stuck, we get so stuck on the surface levels of things. We don't see what's important.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
that's the battle. Human nature is
I think we're in the middle of a transition right now, and people are not sure what it is that they're seeing. The only thing they know is that it upsets them when something is different. Someone moves anything that they are used to as their norm, and that triggers them. And then there's all the stuff that's going out there about what they feel is going to happen to them because of the words that I can't speak on tonight, but that sickness that people were talking about out there, and then those um, inoculations for the folks who and everything that's coming behind that. I think people just very, very uptight. They don't know what to do. Some people don't know who to believe or anything along that line. So I would say that's causing folks to be super uptight. Were you going to say something, Pops, before I talk about the other airline thing?
well, I think it's kind of like community, the area. Nashville, I don't have that same vibe. Everybody's excited here. Everybody's
Mm,
glad that everything's open here because I guess we're that kind of like party town. And when people come here, they're happy because they're coming from California, they're coming from Texas, they're coming from Florida, they're coming from New York, and they're coming from
mm-hmm.
overseas, and they're just happy to get out. I meet somebody because you guys know I drive Uber too, so I meet people from all over the world. So they're just happy
Right.
here, and I guess it's just specifically where you're from. If you're from
Mm-hmm.
areas that you've been locked down for a while, and I can see you guys getting on your last nerve there because of all the things you're going through. But when they come here to Nashville, and see, it's infectious too. They're here to have a good time. So I pick up their vibrations when they come here. So I think Nashville kind of like is a little different. We're not feeling the same because of the high energy here, and we're
Mm-hmm.
not getting all that violence and stuff uh, on a daily basis. Although
Okay.
we did have a shooting last week, so hey,
I think,
but that's the city.
yeah, I think that with people being, I guess, locked down in their house, in their own space, in their comfort zone, and things of that nature. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then when they have to go back out, anxiety, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of other stuff. And you ain't got time, you done been in your own little world, your own little bubble, used to your own stuff, and you ain't got time for no foolishness. You know what I mean? Hey man, put your damn seat up, or whatever the case may be. And that fuse, you know what I'm saying, is shorter than what it probably would be because you ain't been out in the public, you know what I'm saying, intermingling with people. You done forgot how to, you know what I'm saying, interact with people. You know what I mean? And so somebody turn around and pop out and say something to you, like you say, man, look, I got a house full of kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to I'm gonna have to, pay rent next month when I ain't been paying it for over a year. You know what I mean? I don't know, if my job gonna keep me or if they gonna fire me, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you trying to travel, go somewhere, and then somebody done put their seat on you, or their kid over there jumping over the seat, talking crazy to you, people, like you say, pressure bust a pipe or it can make diamonds, and in this case, it bust a pipe.
Yeah, everybody's like, people like just with all the madness is going on. You start thinking like, damn, am I a victim? You start convincing yourself you're a victim, so you put yourself, you create victimizing situations. You put yourself in the position of purposely trying to be a victim, so you can match that surrounding, or match what you see on TV or on social media. And you inadvertently, of course, become a victim. You make yourself a victim, which is it's pretty sad, but that's just how it's going on. That's just what's going on. People find any reason to just have a trigger.
Well, I personally feel there are some things that are going on and people don't want to face it. I'm watching a few people in my world, they don't want to face that some things are happening right before their faces and they're fighting it. And you can't fight truths that are coming out. They're gonna come out. It's like an overflow. It's gonna come through. And I'm kind of watching that right this moment. I'm not gonna talk about it now because I'm just gonna let it materialize. But I really think that that's also some things that are just not understood, but they see everything moving in a certain direction and they ain't happy. So, with that said, we're going to move on to our next story. Spirit Airlines, as I mentioned earlier, this was going to be another airline story. Now, this is what kind of tripped me out. It said Spirit Airlines collapses. There was operational meltdown. This was as of, let's see, what day was this? Earlier this week. I'll just say it was earlier this week. Spirit Airlines canceled 277 flights, which is 36% of their schedule, and 159 flights were delayed, which was 20% of their schedule. Let's just say people went cuckoo crazy. And they said that riots broke out. And a lot of this was like in San Juan and different places like that. The San Juan, Puerto Rico. They said that riots broke out and passengers were breaking computers, attempting to break the jet bridge door. They were assaulting gate agents. 25 crew members were huddled in a ramp break room, waiting for SWAT to escort them away. They said all kinds of stuff was going to. Crews were urged to change clothes to avoid being detected. And they said the temperatures at the time were flaring in Orlando, Florida, and Fort Lauderdale. So that's just a little taste of what was going on this week. Once again, it just seems like it's a tensions high thing. It's a worldwide thing. Tensions are high right now.
COVID is like, COVID goes from being in the air to being in the flesh.
Yeah,
What everybody's zombified. Yeah. They zombified.
What's causing this zombieism? So,
you know what I mean?
Resident people, resident evil.
Yeah, I mean, people are evil. Evil people.
No such thing as evil. Ain't no such thing as evil.
I don't think that people are evil. I think that
they make evil decisions.
No,
well, I think people, when they come from a life of dysfunctionality, and they haven't got the tools to like
Balance.
conflict resolution. It's like they just don't have the tools to deal with trials and tribulations, as the church people would say. You know, as a realist that I am, I know that going to have good days and bad days. For example, I could have had a bad time when the guy hit my car, but we had a civil conversation, talked to him, found out, he divorced and got a new girlfriend, and he's currently unemployed, which kind of scared me a little bit because I don't know if he got insurance or not. But it was very civil. But that is the realization that that bad things are going to happen to good people all the time, and bad things are going to happen to you. And simply put it, people are not ready for like bad things. They don't know how, and that they lack that emotional intelligence to know that bad things happen, and you don't have to act an asshole or trip just because it happened. It just
Right.
So if
Barely got back.
okay, I hear what you're saying, but so we're saying these people are acting this way because they've been locked up for a whole year because of COVID, and now all of a sudden you don't have the sense that you had before COVID.
Okay,
Are
we
we
got to
just giving
consider word.
people?
Consider word. Consider word.
You.
Consider word.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Or
I know.
are
We know what
we just giving people? Are we just justifying behavior because people just want to act the way they want to act and they don't even care anymore?
Yeah, I mean, they're acting like kids.
Do they have the tools? So it's a matter of them realizing they have the tools, and they just deliberately don't want to use those tools to balance what's going on with themselves. So either
Well,
they
here's a
have the
view
tools,
on it.
either they have the tools and they don't want to use them, or they're not. That's how I look at it. They're just making their own. They're making a conscious decision, regardless how it affects other people. They have the freedom to think for themselves and rationalize the outcomes. And if they're not doing that, then it's on them. But I have no pity for people that do things such to other people. You have a decision. Do your pros and cons.
I mean, also you got to be careful about news because news is always going to glorify the negative anyway.
That's
Yeah,
why
we
it's not
do.
true. It's only
And
called.
social media is like 10x that.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing new in the news. Nothing ever new in the news.
I
Yeah,
mean,
there
people have
is a.
been.
It's just repetitive human behavior.
What I
Tiana,
notice
say
is
something.
every time that I look at the articles and all, is constantly uh, a pushing of issues, negative, racial, everything. I choose certain things out of there. I might choose some racial things that are just kind of crazy to me. I'll choose things every now and then, but it's a constant push all day of negative, low vibration news. And I feel like people already have negative, low vibrations already. And I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to separate myself from those type of things. But personally speaking, you have to recognize what it is. And a lot of people don't recognize what it is. All they know is that something is wrong. That's all they know is that something is wrong, and they just act out, to that. They just act, physical according to that.
I
Are we
think it's
talking about?
psychological manipulation. If they can keep us all fighting each other, then
Yeah.
we ain't watching Congress, we ain't watching the senators, we ain't watching the president do certain things. He made
Right.
certain promises that he has not come through with yet, and we're not paying attention because we're down here with these little infighting stuff, and the news is playing it up. So people think like, oh well, that's what kind of day it is. So if everybody's at war, then I got to gear up for war too. So I got to get ready for battle. So then everybody gets into that low vibration, and then everybody's like attacking each other at any
They don't even know
instance.
why, and they don't even know why.
Yeah, they don't know. Well,
Right.
They're attacking each other. They're just
I
going off.
think people can sense.
Tiana was about to say something, and then she got cut out.
Yeah, so the thing that I see is that over the last year, year and a half, people have been able to interact with others without consequences because they're, virtual everywhere. And now that we're integrating back into a physical world, they're not ready for the consequences of their actions.
Keyboard warriors, huh? Them keyboard warriors. They'll go to war with you on their keyboard. Get face to face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Off the rip.
What happens when you got to go to work with that person?
Well, I mean, you bring in a good point there, Tiana. It could be because when people are online, they are a little bit more hostile. So now they're meeting each other face to face. They're keeping that same mindset up. So now they're to be more argumentative and be a little bit more violent than normal, because for the last year or so, they've been saying all this ratchet stuff on the internet, and now they get to say it in person. But they say, oops, they might hit me now. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't hit me when I was doing that stuff on social media.
Yeah.
But now, he just hit me in the eye. Or
oh, snap.
Yeah, the news comes a little bit late.
I didn't see that coming.
Right.
Well, you have to understand they feel threatened by your blink. So
By your blink? Don't blink.
you know what I'm saying? So people find a reason or make up a reason.
Yeah, I think it just comes a time when you have to make changes in your life. I know I'm about to do that, and I do that every now and then. I purge, and when I do, I just wave goodbye and I just keep going. So that's what I'm about to do in my life, and I think everybody needs to do that. I think it's healthy to do that in your life every now and then, because you can't continue to keep negative, low vibrations and individuals that that bring you down. I just think it's just needed, and I think people don't understand what's happening. And like I said before, they see stuff changing around them, and they don't know what to do about it. All they see is a media promoting the exact same thing every day to them, and it's really making them angry because they hear the same old stuff every day. So. But
you start feeding the two behaviors. The more you keep seeing it, then you become it.
Right.
You got to learn how to use it on and off button. You don't have to watch. You don't have to stay. You don't have to feed your mind that nonsense. This one rap group that was famed for a short period of time in Rap City. They said, living in these last days and times, check yourself in what you feed your mind. I know you can't be blind living in the future. And this is premeditated back in the 90s. So we're talking like 90, 97, actually. The name of the group.
Wow, that's only 10 years ago.
Man, I'd still go back. But yeah, it was already speaking what's going on now. Like Mike, even like Mike, Goody Mob, that song, right. Cell Therapy.
Right.
And they're talking about what's going on now. So it's no surprise. So it's just a matter of, you got the message. So how are you going to prepare yourself? You keep getting the message. All you have until you're able to prepare yourself, because by then it'll be too late, perhaps.
I'm actually excited. I'm excited about the stuff coming. I mean, really, I'm very excited because we've been talking about it, thinking about it, waiting for a long time. I'm excited about everything that's happening, and it is happening right now. I may not talk about everything, but it is happening right now. I've grown tired of talking to people about stuff, so I just letting everything come out there. And even in my own world, it's all happening right now. It's just, and that's wonderful. I love that, I love that.
Got to find a reason to laugh.
That's right.
I do it all the time.
Well, I got something very sad I want to bring up to you all. We're talking about flights. We're talking about things that have been going on. This is something that's going to take us back to August this month, 20 years ago, the death of Aaliyah, the R&B singer, entertainer, performer, beautiful lady who lost her life in a plane crash. Well, there is a person, a young man who is writing a book right now. His name is Kingsley Russell. His family is the one that ran the taxi firm in the Bahamas. Now, the reason for bringing all this out and talking about it now is that there was some things that were told about her getting on that flight. Remember, they said that the plane was too heavy and she wanted to get on the flight anyway. Well, this young man says he was only 13 at the time, but he remembers. He said that he claims that she refused to board the plane when she saw it, and she went back to sleep in the car that was driven by his stepmother. And he said that she passed out in the back of the plane because she had taken a sleeping pill, and that they carried her onto the plane.
And the pilot,
what a twist! M. Night Shyamalan.
The pilot now.
Mhm.
What about the pilot? What was inside the pilot system?
Yeah. You remember I was kind of talking about this before. There was a little war that was going on between her and another R&B singer that became big, and this R&B singer blew up after the death of Aaliyah, and yes, immediately after her death. And so they say it was a kind of a setup that went on that put that whole thing together. And now knowing that this young man has his own evidence that she didn't even want to get on the plane.
Aaliyah was just, she was on the chessboard. And you know what happens in the game of chess? You get replaced.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
the game is in that particular, or in that industry. You're on the chessboard.
Right.
If you want to be or not, you are a piece.
Yes. And that's really so sad when I think about that. I just wanted to bring that story to light. Is like I said, is going to be him putting that story out there. I'm sure there's a whole lot more to the story, but he was happy to report that to people, that it wasn't her just being impatient and being mean or ugly or anything like that that caused her death. It was actually she didn't want to do that. And
I hope he makes it.
Somebody played the game. Somebody played the game and knew it was going to take to make it in the game. And they took those measures.
Right. Exactly.
Somebody stood back and just let it happen.
Right. Exactly. Okay, I got a story that's a little bit funny. Every summer, some of the richest people go to the Hamptons and they party. They have themselves a good time. Well, right now, they say they can't wait to leave the Hamptons. I'm going to just sum it up for you real quick. Basically, they say a new money done come up there, right? New money is having too much fun. New money got more money than them. New money is there just doing everything. Now they ready to check out and go to the crib because new money is doing it. So what do y'all think about that? It seems a little sore loserish to me, but what do y'all think?
It sounds like we're back in the 20s, when all the new money was coming out.
Right.
Yeah. The new Great Depression.
Yeah.
Well, the elite don't never want to associate with people they just see coming up. That's that eliteism right there, where they really don't want to associate because they figure that they're really not on their level. Although they might be on their bankroll, or they might have the same much money, or maybe more money than they do, but they figure that since they haven't had their money and they're not second or third generation money, that they shouldn't be members to their club.
Some new money, they lack the type of decorum the old money is looking for. And so they like to separate themselves from that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would say that also, if you're not on the level of thinking and shaking and moving, no matter who's involved, be it innocent or guilty, if you're not on their wavelength, I wanted to call it a name. If you're not on their level of insanity,
right,
you're not going to last. You're not.
Well, they try to make it like that. Looks like they're getting pushed out of the neighborhood, though.
Well, that's the problem, is that there's going to be a change. There is a change in the guard. And these people are irritating them because they can see that they have more money and that they're doing bigger things. And, that, remember I told you that there's going to be a wealth transfer?
Or what?
Yes.
We're on the verge of a wealth transfer right now.
Well, we already know that. That's been known for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm. It's happening now, though.
Not by everybody. Not everybody knows that.
Right.
Well, the mere fact that the baby boomers, for one thing, the baby boomers getting older, that by itself alone was going to be a transfer of a lot of wealth by itself. And with the change of technology, also there's going to be a transfer of wealth, because Now, I seen a little guy. He was a TikTok millionaire, and all he did was make like little videos. He's from Africa. He has no really like technical skills or not, but all he did is he just takes like stupid things that happen on the internet or stupid things, and then he's turning around and use common sense principles, and that's all he do. That's all he does. And the guy exactly. The guy's got millions and millions.
Yes.
He said a word.
I was wondering who he was. I saw somebody doing a picture of him, and I was like, "Who is this picture?" And I saw the smile, and I was like, "Who is this cat?" And then I saw the video that you sent it to me, Pops. And then there he was with that smile, and I was like, "Oh, there he is."
He does. Yo, yes. He Gucci down now. He probably can afford a Lambo and everything now, you know?
He don't even afford the Lambo, but he's probably sending all the local kids to college or school, whatever the highest level of education is there.
You got to keep that positivity, so to speak, I want to say, in silence. Because when people know that you're doing good, especially with those that are running what's going on, when you blast your positivity and what you're sharing in terms of wealth, that's not the message that they want to send out. They don't want that. They don't want that amongst us at all, sharing anything, not even local bread. So, it's very tricky. Very tricky.
Mm-hmm. Well, wish them the best of luck. The rich who are losing their position, wish them the best of luck. and we shall move on.
Yeah.
We shall move on.
No, well, I'm trying to get rich anyway.
Best of luck, or is it welcome to our world?
Yes, exactly. Well, it's going to be different in a minute, too. That there will be no welcome because we're going to be different. Like I said, there's going to be a total transfer. Well, transfer it is happening now. What's all that?
Indeed, that indeed. Trading places.
Okay. What was that?
My bad.
You know one thing that I realized, y'all, in case you don't know this already. I mean, maybe you all didn't work in studios a lot when you were in anything like this. If you turn up anything in your room, sound wise, you're going to have feedback to your microphone. Just in case you don't know that, whatever you're speaking in or dealing with, anything is going to bring some feedback. So just FYI, because I told myself the other day, I said they didn't work in studios and stuff, and so maybe Rick, you worked in studio, but just people may not know that. But just FYI, it's all coming right here, and that's why in my room, I don't have anything because I got a Blue Yeti here. And my mic is going to pick up everything. So, but I was going to get into this topic, but I don't really want to get in there too far. I'm just going to say this. With Goldberg, people kind of looking at her with a side eye right now because The View failed to disclose the conflict of interest that exists with Whoopi Goldberg as she led a discussion about the scandals plaguing the Democratic New York governor, Andrew Cuomo. And, sometimes people forget that, in their whole big piling and rubbing elbows with people, and now them people's in trouble. And so now they're cutting off, like, I don't know him. I'm not saying anything about that when that person is going up in flames. So I really don't. Not going to get too far into that. Have you seen the headlines and kind of know what's popping and all that with the Andrew Cuomo thing? Well, let me think. I'm going to tell you this without going into detail because I don't know what the media is going to tell you, but I can tell you he is in a crap load of issues, him and his baby brother. And when all the flames start going up and those faces start showing up, look for those two. Okay. All right, moving on.
They call it
speaking yeah, they are. Even that individual who the man in the mask is even calling for that. That's all I'm gonna say. The man in the mask is even.
Well, you know what they say, so what goes around comes around.
The truth always comes out.
It is damn sure going to come around.
If you get busy, that's when you should. And if you get busy, you shouldn't have started the ride.
Yeah, he got behind the wrong horse.
There we go round.
And then also, like y'all familiar with the guy by the name of Sean King? It's like this activist out there. He's been jumping around on all these different Black Lives Matter, all kinds of things going on. And now they found out that he had the big, lavish, expensive home. And now everybody found out about the home, and they put the damn address out there and everything. And now they got to move home because people
I'm moving out
coming
now.
by the crib. Yeah, people coming by the crib like, you're supposed to be the activist. Why you got a $700,000 home? And the same thing, remember, there was the Black Lives Matter person way up top who the girl, she stepped down too. She had the home stuff too. Y'all remember that?
Got to step down. The man wrote a book.
Here we go with that.
Right.
The man wrote a book.
I'm an activist and I don't get to have nice, luxurious things.
Nah, like the man had a case where he was beat up and messed up and everything else. So he probably got some type of settlement or lawsuit. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I know the man wrote a book. The man got followers. The man got people who donate to his cause and whatever he's doing. He done got plenty of people. He done teamed up with a bunch of folks to get plenty of people out of jail or off this and off that. So I mean, that's almost like the conversation we was having about the preacher.
Thank you.
Well, let me share you a little information for you right now. When you talk about those organizations, and I'm not going to mention the name of the organization again, but that money goes into Act Blue. And when that money goes into Act Blue, it funnels out to these different candidates, and it funnels out to people. It's not going to you or any of the people who need help. It's going to them, the mouthpieces that been talking, and now it's hitting the fan, and it's coming back.
I just figured if you wrote a book, I figure if you wrote
a book more than that.
About it, like you can afford whatever you want.
No, but I'm saying
a lot of times they're front men. They're front men
right.
raising capital for other party who see like Black Lives Matter is a liberal movement. So how would those people feel if their liberal money that they work hard for is going to conservative interests?
And then also, have you noticed that what's the young man's name whose mother is you got some of the mothers of these young people upset right now who had these activists raising money for them, and then all of a sudden these activists have all this money going on and they haven't received the thing. So it's all coming to the head now. And a lot of these book deals, they get fronted money. They're not getting money from the patrons and the people out here who are buying the book. They're getting fronted money from other situations, and they can write a book because they got all this other stuff. So a lot of stuff is starting to come out now and hit the fan.
They're blanketing money. They're blanketing money with. They do the same thing with art. So they can write it off with tax or whatever. It's just a bunch of puppet masters whose strings are getting entangled. That's all that it is.
Yeah. And if you look it up, like I mentioned that organization just now, you look up where that money is going to, and you see it's going to Act Blue, and you see it's going who it's going. It's out there. People won't look at it. It's not going where you think it's going.
They won't look at it. They won't
look at it.
They won't look at it until it serves a purpose. Yeah. I was just watching the show, man, called Sins of the City, man. They did that whole show on the Dallas Carter football team back in the 80s. And they let them boys play all season until it was time for them to go to the state championship. And they went back, and somebody dug up an old test that was marked incomplete. He didn't fail it. They just said not complete. And they went so far back as to get into politics of Texas football to stop somebody from going forward due to the times and the tones of flesh, you know what I mean, back then. So to fast forward, to make it relevant to what we're talking about, things only become relevant until it's going against the norm or what is to be expected, or to knock somebody off their throne. So then that's when they start digging up dirt and bringing it forward. I mean, that's politics 101, right? How much dirt do I have on the other guy?
Well, a lot of times you don't find out about this situation until somebody gets slighted and they don't get their cut.
Right.
Right.
Now I'm gonna tell you what.
Exactly. So
I'm gonna tell you why
happens
it's coming
after
out.
bringing it closed?
Yeah, it's not coming out because of that. It's coming out because within the next couple of weeks, y'all going to see some stuff to make your head spin. So they're really trying to. This has been a steady push to get the public to wake up. They've been feeding like little things here and there, but they're starting to see that the Gen Pop is not really waking up. The Gen Pop is still thinking about what the Kardashians are doing and thinking about other trivial stuff like that and not waking up. So what they're going to do, they're going to do a hard push. And that's what's happening. You're about to see
Hard
this really
reset.
hard push. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is definitely a reset. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
I'm ready for the chaos.
I'm ready for the aliens.
I'm ready for the chaos because I know what it's about. I'll be happy from the standpoint that I've been waiting for it for about almost 7 years now. But I think for the most part, we'll be having to talk and really explain to the public. Those are going to be some important shows in the near future here where we can explain to the public what is actually happening. That's gonna be very important and also a reason for this particular platform. Okay, I saw this earlier this week, and I thought he was joking. I really thought that T.I. was joking. I didn't know he was actually locked up. I thought he was just doing his little thing. He over in Amsterdam, straight up locked up because he and Tiny, Tamika Tiny, they were actually on vacation over in Amsterdam, and he was riding his bike while on his cell phone, and he hit a squad car.
No,
Broke here.
And you picked it.
Yes, and they were like, "That's illegal to be on your cell phone over in Amsterdam."
Yeah.
So they like,
very backwards.
yeah. So they got him. Hold up, y'all! I forgot my selfie. How in the world did I forget my selfie
They try to
tonight?
keep people alive.
Well, I mean,
Wait a
over
minute.
there, cars are replaced by bicycles. So you would think that they have more strict rules for bicycles like we have for cars.
What's up with the priorities? Don't make sense. It does not make sense. You can burn a forest, but you can't be on your cell phone on a doggone moped or really. This is nothing. Nothing.
See my selfie?
It's considered a motorized
I was
vehicle.
just about to call you out.
It's considered a motorized vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah, just how he said it. Say that again.
A motorized vehicle.
Right
Like-
there.
It's a
Yeah, what he said.
Hey, everybody should try it. Everybody should try it. Motorized vehicle.
no.
Go ahead.
You gotta
Motorized
Okay.
So do you think it's about money or do you think it's about safety?
I think it's about.
I think it's about Tim. I think they like,
I think it's about
whoa,
the with him.
it's DI.
Yeah. What?
But look, if he didn't break
I
the
think they've been
rules,
high too long and forget what's funny.
if that's their law, that's their law. He put himself in that
That's
position.
true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
But it was funny just watching him. They didn't take his phone from him, and he ended just talking and everything. And they came and said something to him. And I was like, "Is he really for real?" And he was really for real. It was all going down live. And so,
He said it was a good experience. He still had fun.
And he was chill.
Yeah.
yes, it was.
No handcuffs and nothing. He just.
They invited him into the car.
Yeah, like
Wow.
damn it.
Now you know if that was in the USA, it would have been a different story, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it would have
They
been
would have
Yes.
jacked them up,
Yes.
kicked them a
Yes.
couple times, then they put him in the squad.
Yes. Well, I
Oh,
can't
they've
do
been
that
waiting for
shot.
T.I. because T.I. been talking a lot of cash stuff over social media too. Oh yeah, they would want a piece of him.
Yeah, well, he got
Yeah.
the cash to equivocate that. So, T.I., big up.
Mhm.
I mean, hey.
He can handle it. It's all right.
I was trying to do my shot for IG, and daggone it, my doggy is in the back there, laid out with his feet, looking like a house fell on him. So I can't do that shot. I got to do another one. Doggone it. So
Why? Tag his Instagram.
he needs an Instagram. He needs his own Instagram. Speaking of dogs, check this story out, y'all. Before I do my selfie and
Look
everything.
at that transition.
Ain't it though? Ain't it though? Okay. Scientists are baffled by an 18,000-year-old wolf dog puppy found frozen in Siberia.
Leave it
There's a
frozen.
picture. I know, right?
Right.
Have y'all seen the movie The Thing?
No.
Leave it frozen.
You know they've been trying to so they found remnants of woolly mammoths, and they've been trying to clone them for a few years.
Leave it
So
alone.
Lord knows what they're gonna do with this thing.
It's frozen for a reason.
I'm saying we don't have. There's a
Dude,
whole bunch more living on this planet than there was then. The planet just can't support something that big anymore.
why
That's why elephants are the size they are.
why do you think they froze the blob? Rick, shut up.
Y'all
Okay.
playing? There's some stuff in them Arctic.
Yeah.
But let me tell y'all about
Shit's
this
waking
story. And actually, if you want to see the picture, you can. I'll let you know if you want to see it. I'll show it to
Put
you.
it in the chat.
But
I want to see it.
okay, okay, I will go ahead and share the screen for you. And let's see, there it is. Kind of weirded me out just a little bit, but it is what it is. So here we go. Oh no, is that there? It is. There it is. See the doggy?
Aww,
That is a
Oh,
well
Yeah.
preserved pup.
Them teeth are not fair.
that's cute.
Those
It's-
teeth
Yeah,
are
there's
not
nothing cute about that.
Yeah, they're unsure if it's canine. But look at that article. It says back in the summer of 2018, the scientists found a male puppy buried inside a lump frozen ground near Indigirka River. I'm just gonna say in Russia. The puppy's full body, thick hair, muzzle, and even whiskers and eyelashes were preserved by
What?
permafrost. Yes, and they
That
say
means it
it's
got really cold really
That's
fast.
so
Right.
amazing.
Gates are
Yes.
sealed shut. Gates are sealed shut for a reason.
Yeah, it's just something they really believe that this might have been the oldest doggy ever, found and what have you. But I just find it very it's a little on the strange side to me and a little on the weird side. But let's just say it this way: there's plenty of things out there that are happening that they hide. We know this is real. We know that all this stuff has been going on, and they be like, "I guess what, y'all." Ain't no guess what. You already know this stuff has been happening and for quite some time. So, you all, before we go into tonight, I got just a couple more things. We talked last week, and in last week, we talked about the petition, Kevin Samuels, the petition to have him removed from
Oh my God.
both YouTube and Instagram.
Oh my
25,000 signatures were needed. Okay.
have nothing
And
better to do.
wait a minute. I'll read to you real quick, just a little bit. They said, with the rise of violence against women, specifically African American women, YouTuber Kevin Samuels has galvanized a community of men of all races and nationalities in the outspoken hatred of women. Removing this voice of divisive vitriol Virtual, okay. Will allow women to feel safer, not only in public places, but in online communities as well. So what was needed was 25,000 signatures. And when I pulled this up just a little while ago, we are at 20,082 signatures.
Is that the
This
thing
thing
we
is
talked about
moving.
last week?
Yes, this thing is moving, y'all. So, like it, love it, or hate it, it looks like it is moving forward. And you like it, love it, or hate it, it's gonna go down. Okay. Um, well, let's see. Anybody in the chat? I see Veronica over there in the chat. Veronica's having trouble with her phone, and unfortunately, Margo's having trouble with her internet tonight too. And she had to drop off away from us, and so I was going to share just one more thing before we go. Anybody in the chat that y'all want to
No,
talk about besides y'all?
it's just us talking to each other in the chat right now.
Yeah, that's why I noticed. Okay, I found this to be funny, and I want to see. I'm going to do a test and see if you all can pick this up. I'm going to do a test on this. Okay, this is a joke, and I'm going to have to do a screen share on this particular joke because I just want to see. Did you pick it up? Okay. So let me go ahead, share the screen, and then we'll go into our topic and everything for tonight. Okay, let's see. Okay. I'm going to read a few things to you. Okay, check it out. Check it out. Everybody can see it yet? Can you see it yet?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says, one day a woman was driving around a block when she passed through a spot that had a traffic camera. What a wonderful day, she's thinking, okay? So it says, as she passed the camera, she felt it flash on her, making her believe the picture was being taken. So there it is, it clicked, and she says, disturbed by the camera's action, the woman thought it must have taken a picture for driving above the speed limit, even though she knew she wasn't. So she was like, this is a mistake. So to be sure the camera didn't make a mistake, the woman drove around the block again. When she approached the same spot, just like before, the camera flashed again, and she said, I'm not speeding. And so the confused woman found this amusing, but still the camera was wrong in snapping a photo of her. So for the third time, she went around the block again and approached the spot with even a slower speed and got the same result. She goes the fourth time again, yet the same result. What do y'all think was going on?
Running the stop sign.
Sting. I'll be watching you. That song, I'll be watching you.
It could have been some pervert sitting at the station taking pictures because they was stalking her.
Every bow you break, every move you make, I'll be watching you.
Okay. Well, let me show you. Like, she went even slower and everything. Let me show you what was actually happening as she's going around. 2 weeks later, the woman received 3 traffic fine letters in the mail. All the fines were driving without a seatbelt. So she just rolling, having herself a good time, thinking she was being picked on, and she had on nobody's seatbelt. So I guess just the moral to yes.
It's weird
the moral to the story.
Her car that good.
Huh?
I said that's even weirder that they could see inside her car that well.
Gee, them
Oh,
cameras.
they can
AI
see.
is going insane.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
them cameras in Germany will tear your ass up. I can tell you that.
The cameras here in
fact,
Cobb County. We ain't got to go to Germany.
No, that was the first time I got flashed. I got flashed in Germany, and they had me just.
Hey.
Fun
Wait a minute, I
fact,
gotta get my
AI
picture
is
in
almost
here,
to the
y'all.
point of fully mimicking human and human behavior.
Right.
Really?
Like
Wow.
100%. We're at like 97% right now or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I think China is leading that surge too.
Yeah. Our robot coming soon.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I mean, where they got the robots that they can do like surgery, they can do sutures on your head. I mean, if you're a blue collar worker, your job is in jeopardy big time because they're going to be probably replacing all those blue collar worker jobs for sure within the next, I would say, the next 20 years. So you better have some skills, or you're going to not be able to pay them bills.
I'm going into plumbing.
Somebody
somewhere
is always real.
I'm trying to tell you, somebody somewhere. Look, very few people want to deal with boo boo. So if you're going to get into plumbing, ain't nobody going.
I don't think the robot care about the boo boo.
I'm just saying.
They can't tell.
But you just said you need to have a skill, so plumbing is a skill. So that's why I said I'm going into plumbing. Because ain't nobody gonna want to deal with boo boo.
Just to make it clear, you're not trying to dig up shit, are you?
Well, she said tight. It's tight.
Yeah, I think he is.
Nah, look, you just said you just talked about a skill set, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Right now, we're gonna talk about it because you mentioned it up, and then you went back and said that robots ain't talking about boo boo, but you just talked about skill set. So I kind of piggyback off of the skill set thing. So plumbing and all those other trades that people do, right? Because we talk about this now in the community and in society now that they highlight education when you really don't even need it, right? But if you got a skill set, you can be part of that New Hampton wave with your skill set, right?
I think those type of skills like that the robots can do those type of skills though. Right. As far as like plumbing and stuff like that, right. They're able to do stuff like that. When I say
you just said blue collar, your words exactly was blue collar, right?
Right. Blue collar is going to be on the first line. The common laborers, right. They on the first wave. Then the next wave will be the more skill level.
Right.
And you're going to have a lot of people just running around. That's the other thing about lowering the populace, because they don't need as many laborers, so don't need as many people. So some of the elite people, they say, rumor is that they're trying to get rid of the people. And that's why, they kind of let this pandemic kind of slip through the cracks, you know what I'm saying? Because they trying to get rid of some of us,
Everything has been.
I know if you go to McDonald's,
everything's been happening at the time. Everything.
Them damn machines is taking your orders for you.
Because it's just amazing to me about this pandemic that we had Ebola come over here to the United States and they shut that down like that. And then we have this pandemic.
Amazing.
And then they have pandemic, and then it kills 5 million people across the world. It's not an accident. It's not an accident. Right. But people don't even know. Worse than this, that the Spanish flu killed between 50 million and 100 million people. And that's facts.
We got a heads up by watching Twilight Zone. We already had a heads up years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that 1912
President Obama, they were actually gearing for a pandemic, and our former president, he decided to defund that whole the whole
Cold War
CDC actions and stuff on a federal level, as far as focusing on taking money away from the pandemic prevention programs. That's facts.
Setups and justifications. For real.
That'll make sense to me.
How about
and I'll explain to you
I'm
later.
so confused.
Yeah, that'll make sense to me. And I'm going to leave it alone because I can't break it down. But when you already know some stuff is
there's some stuff out there that y'all need to look into. If you look into the recent thing that's going on in the world today, right? Just prior to that, they had some exercises and things going on. But I mean, they had practice before the thing. But we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, because basically we know what they've been doing the thing every 2 years.
Right.
Every 2 years. Every freaking 2 years.
I know.
Why in all friggin' hell people just didn't see none of that?
Yeah.
You got more stuff that kills more people, malaria and all that. The flu itself killed more people. Why the friggin' hell did you not catch on to none of that? I'm being nice. Okay.
I don't know.
That
That's
wine
a
is
little
coming
terrible
out. You're a lot more spicy tonight.
Tasmanian tea coming out there.
Tasmanian tea. That tandy tea? That's that tandy tea?
Tandy tea, yeah.
Tasmanian
Tasmanian tea, my bad. Tasmanian tea.
Tandy tea.
And there is a character coming. I started working on the character, and I just didn't get it for this week. But there is a character coming. Because somebody got to cuss for me. Okay.
I'll cuss for you. I'm really good at it.
I know.
Probably got one of those pointy tails on it too, right?
But the thing is this, y'all, it's time to go into the actual living room. I've been over here. I didn't do my promotions tonight, so I've been over here doing all this. And I think it's mostly because tonight was just one of those times. The whole transition of this week caught me up. It really caught me up, and I got really into that more so than just doing the live. We can do the live anytime, but moving the live to another level is what I'm doing right at this moment. And so got a little tied up. So let's go ahead and get ourselves ready to go into the actual living room. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Now, this week's topic is I worked with the Pops this week. I don't know what Pops is doing on that dancing thing going on. So please stop it. But he actually this week.
I'm still jamming.
Okay, you keep on jamming. But you actually helped to come up with this topic this week, the sexual tales from the hood. And it's something you kind of talk about a little bit what's in your mind, and then I'll add from there. So what you got?
Well, it's a simple fact that when we were growing up and being from elementary school to high school, there was a lot of things, the misinformation as far as when it came to sex and stuff. Like back in the day, instead of having like birth control and stuff, your pull-out game had to be strong. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
That's when they were trying to raise the population.
Right. So there was a lot of disinformation that was shared, and a lot of stuff about, certain part of your body parts. If certain part of your body parts were a certain size, then other part of your manly body parts were a certain size to be equal to that. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I was just interested on everybody's experience. Is that what did you experience? Things that you know now that was 100% wrong, but at the time, that was what's going on in your school and your peers, among you and your friends and stuff.
I know shoe size was one of those. What are y'all?
Yeah, no, it was shoes and hands.
Shoes and hands.
The banana threw me through a loop every time.
What's the banana?
Practice
I mean, I know
on
it's
condoms.
okay, listen. I thought it was a trick.
Oh, I remember when the old folks would say, if you kiss a boy, you get pregnant.
Oh, I remember that one when we were.
If you swallow watermelon seeds.
Oh.
That's that country. That's that country stuff.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
For the longest, I didn't eat watermelon because of that.
Yeah, it results in a pregnancy.
And then I got smart. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you bought the seedless ones, right?
Man.
Huh?
Yeah,
the seedless watermelons.
No.
We don't do seedless fruit in this house.
I'm trying to tell you, because you eat fruit without seeds, baby. You ain't eating real fruit.
You got that right. You got that man-made stuff right there.
You eating death and sterilization is what you're doing. Don't be eating that stuff and wondering why it don't work. Rick, shut up.
Hey, so did y'all ever hear like if you was going and you had problems recovering as a man, that all you had to do was knock down a couple of raw eggs, and then it'll bring you back?
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true, man. That's true. They actually the Jamaicans have like you gotta put some other stuff in there too.
Yes, I just came back.
Ginger,
it's some jelly stuff. They take something and make a gel or something.
Yeah, burdock. Yeah, you gotta put. Yeah, it's not just eggs by itself. You know, there's a lady with a video on YouTube that said this is what her dad used to do like every morning, like in clockwork. He's from Jamaica, and she always wanted to drink that. And they used to put orange juice too in there too.
They said it was a concoction that Jamaican men do to give them a strong back. Right?
I don't think it was their back. I thought it was their.
Well, I'm saying back to be polite.
Oh, well, we can talk in medical terms. We can say like penis or vagina or uterus or clitoris. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
It's like medical terminology. You know, let me tell you this. When I was little, when I was in in the middle school, like in 6th grade, I was very inquisitive about the woman's body, right?
Right.
So everybody in those days had a encyclopedia, a group of encyclopedia.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, Britannia, exactly. So what I did, I looked up the women and her parts and stuff, and I saw like, whoa, women got fallopian tubes, and they got uterus, and they got egg sacs and stuff. So I was a very good drawer at that time. So I drew it all out, and I happened to have it at school, and I was opening up and looking at it, and my teacher walked by, and she snatched that paper. And they was getting ready, and they was going to try to expel me from school because I was writing porn. I was like, "That's not porn."
You should have told him you was drawing a moose or a deer or some shit.
A deer, oh, like the animals and stuff.
Yes, deer, all right, oh my dear.
But you see, that's how.
Well, you know what?
That's how conservative it was back then.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
And now they have naked all over YouTube, you know. For example, like some of the words and stuff that Carly B said is just, whoa.
So I got a question. I want to know what, because I look on the little the chap snap and all the rest of that thing.
Chapel snap?
Whatever they call it. I'm trying to figure out what's the point of twerking on the birthday cake.
What?
That is they're twerking on the birthday cake. The women
spending money on a birthday cake to then put their butt on it.
So well, I mean, it's not good for much else.
I'm just
so you can eat it like soup.
So they have a cake, a whole cake, and then they go to twerking, and then they bounce and drop it and twerk it and split it and everything else on the cake.
No,
and then that's supposed to be sexy.
Right. It's sexy to my husband, obviously.
Tashiba, you twerking on a birthday cake over there, girl?
Twerk it. Come on.
The 18th is coming up.
No, Veronica has a message to you, Pops.
So it's not a birthday cake; it's a graduation cake.
Okay, graduation cake. There you go. Somebody have a who?
Where is it? Where is it?
Oh, Veronica said, if you touch your boy, you get the cooties.
You get the cooties.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember that too.
I remember we used to play a game. Also, we used to run around in school, and you know, the guys used to they do the scoop.
What is the scoop?
No, you run around, you pat a girl on the butt, and you take off running.
What?
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hated that.
Today that'd be called sexual harassment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so let me ask you. I have some actual.
Go ahead. I stopped. I don't know. I was gonna say, do y'all remember the whole soda can thing, where if you could take the whole soda can top off, it was considered an F tab. If you could take the whole top, off of the soda can,
that was high school, I think.
And you gave it to a girl or she gave it to you, it was considered an F tab. That means she wanted to either you wanted to give with her, or she wanted to give with you.
Being in high school and being alternative, like gothic and stuff, we had bracelets, like jelly bracelets, and eventually they were called sex bracelets.
Right.
Different colors that meant different things. Like blue was make out, pink was like touch something, and black was go full on or whatever. But there were so many different colors.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that was an alternative thing. I remember that because that's when my sister was in high school.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember
all I remember is having a phone conversation, and that was it.
Nah. So in middle school,
yes, thank you.
I perfected the art of taking off the top off the little tab off a soda can, because I was passing them shits out. Don't mean I was looking.
Okay. What about if you took the stem of a cherry and tied it in a knot? You were
I still do that today. Every chance I get. I don't care how short the stem is. I'll be trying like hell.
He said, girl, let me show you something.
Hey, look, we doing this here for about 30 minutes.
That's too long. Okay,
let me stop y'all. Let's get to the topic, because we kind of like y'all spitballing right this moment. Let me get to some actual things that are myths, and let's see where you all speak, because y'all go way off on some tangents.
I had another one too. If you
I'm not done.
Back in the day, if you masturbated too much.
Wait.
You go blind.
You get hairy palms.
You go blind.
I ain't never heard that.
Y'all love Harry Potter. That's a real good movie. Hey, what was you saying?
Oh, shoot.
Okay, let me get to a few of these that are myths. First of all, Bernard, is Moscato gonna make me sleepy? Is it gonna mellow me out?
I'll leave it alone.
Why are we trying to be mellow?
Now, Moscato.
No, I'm asking. Is Moscato gonna make me sleepy? Is okay.
Yes.
Yes. Moscato's a mediocre.
Yes.
It shouldn't make you sleepy.
It's mellow. You won't be terrible.
Yeah. I've had enough.
No, you should be all fine. Just don't mess with that Riesling.
Yeah, I'm off the Riesling. Okay. Now, I want to give you all some myths, and then we can discuss it from here. This is from cycles.app. This is true or false. This is 6 common sex myths debunked. And the number one is you can get an STD from a toilet seat. Have y'all heard that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mainly herpes.
Okay, they said thankfully it's highly unlikely for 2 main reasons. Most disease-causing organisms can only survive in a short time on surfaces like a toilet seat, and STDs are transferred through contact with open orifices or wounds. Your chances of catching STD from a toilet seat remain extremely low unless you're having sex on one.
But it doesn't say it's not.
Right, it says extremely low, and that's the goal for tonight. Is if we're going to talk about these things, let's debunk the myths. Let's talk about the things that they say are out there, and then they're not really true. Number 2, you can't get pregnant from period sex.
You can.
That's a whole lie.
I've heard different.
That's an entire lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What have you heard?
They had another one.
I want to hear what y'all had to say about that.
I'm no dinosaur, but
no dinosaur, nothing. Rawr.
But I've heard different, and I've read different. That's all I can say, because based on my reproductive system, I am different. So I'm not going to speak on that too much. Ladies, that's y'all area. That's y'all
Well, let me
area.
Well,
let me tell you what it says
they
about
also
it. It says,
had
let me tell you. Wait, let me tell you what it says. It says, although uncommon, you can still get pregnant if you have
There it
unprotected
is.
sex on your
That's enough.
period, due
That's
to the
enough.
fact that the sperm can survive in the female reproductive system up to 5 days. If you have sex towards the end of your period and ovulate early in your cycle,
right.
it is possible to get pregnant from the surviving sperm.
That burglar's just waiting around the corner for the clerk to close.
So they have
They also
the
had like
fertility.
a
They have the fertility, and then they have the motility or some shit like that. The shit that tell you.
huh?
He said
What?
shut.
So they have the fertility, and then they have the motility. It's two. When you go, trust me, I done been to the doctor, and I told him to check everything from the rooter to the tootie, right? So you have fertility as far as you being fertile in your sperm count, and then you have
The mobility, how it moves.
right of how strong your swimmers are to be able to get to where they need to get to,
Oh, okay.
right? So either you
Mobility.
fertile or there you go. It's something I can't. I know I'm messing it up right now because I done had this,
It starts with
I done
an
had
M. though.
this,
That's what's important, baby.
and I done
Walk
had
right past.
and I done had
And
this, but
And this is good. This egg Moscato. Yes.
yeah, Moscato's good, but depending on the man,
Go ahead.
depending on the man, now I'm gonna say that depending on the man and his mojo, we'll just say that it's possible.
Yeah,
It is.
that means take precautions. No matter the.
Just
no
to be
matter,
clear, mojo
But
is
it's
sperm, right?
also
Go ahead, Tim.
right. I had a couple other men. Go ahead, Tim.
Who was saying something? Okay, then I got another one for y'all. Okay, check this out. Myth number 3.
So more about the one about being pregnant, though. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, myth number 3. Vaginal orgasms are common. Vaginal orgasms are common.
Yeah, it depending on what you getting. Some women
Yeah, as
say
a lesbian, I can't answer this question.
Okay.
Even rectal orgasm possible.
Okay, let me go ahead and
I don't know about that.
I'll go ahead and read this to you, and then y'all can discuss it. It says, sexual release comes in many forms, but vaginal orgasms are much less common than you might think. If this is the case for you, then don't be afraid to talk to your partner about your sexual needs, such as clitoral stimulation and other forms of pleasure.
Right. You gotta have that open dialogue.
Touch it all, baby. Don't be afraid. Touch the whole.
So
You
I'll
can't
tell
be
you, like,
fearing sex at all.
right, because some women, even though people think that, you hear all of this talk about, focusing on the clitoris, right? So some women don't like that. Some women don't like clitoris stimulation. Some people need the G spot, or some people like the the vulva or the labia is being stimulated, or they want that taint licked or something like that there. So so every person is different, just like
You like
for
the
a
way he
man.
said that? You like the way he said that? Do you like
Right.
the way he said that?
That was so.
You like
So-
that
I was
taint lick,
expecting him
okay.
to call it a clitosaurus or something like
Clitosaurus?
I
that.
said
I
clitoris.
thought he was all going to be dinosaurs
The
tonight.
Clitoris, what I said. So
Clitosaurus?
just like some men, a lot of women will sit there and go, they'll a lot of women do it on all these little different social media sites where they be like, ooh, I got the best whatever, and I can deep throat, and I can do this, and I can do that. It's a lot of men that don't like head. It's a lot of men that ain't never that ain't never came from a woman giving them head, right?
I don't know any.
I was like, who? Where?
You're wrong.
I think that's
So,
a myth.
anyway,
So fun
so
fact,
it's a
I
lot
used
of
to be
men.
one of those
It's a
guys.
lot of men that oral stimulation does nothing for them, or it may get them started, but then they never actually get to finish. And then women take pride in, well, you just ain't had the right one. Nah, that man just don't like what he don't like. Just like a man can sit there and think that he finna pulverize the punani and get results. You not, because for that specific woman, that you're not doing nothing for them. So those are the myths, and those are the things that I hear, and that they go back and forth when people try to sit there and say, well, if you ain't got this, you just ain't found the right person, or they ain't doing it right. Nah, just for that person, that's probably not their thing.
Because a lot of times it really can just be mental. If you're not starting off with the mind,
right?
If you're starting with the mind to ease to the physical, then more than likely it's not going to work. If you don't understand your partner and how they operate, like for the most part, I feel like it goes both ways. But for some men, just like you said, that's probably not their ballpark, or perhaps that woman or that individual, I would say, has not reached that peak, does not know his body, because that's a conversation that's missing. We're not talking about their androgynous zones, what turns them on. They're not starting with the mental. They're not getting information. So they're just going off of what they used to do from their yesterday. Exactly. So,
I have a very unique experience.
First question. I'm sorry, real quick. The first question, you're talking about bacteria, STD surviving for only a short matter of time. I beg to differ. I'm not saying I have personal experience, but if certain men having to gather themselves or lift themselves, so to speak, from their orifices getting contaminated, because chances are, if it's around certain type of bacteria, it's going to survive. It's going to survive, and as long as it hangs around, and you let that old boy drop or touch, you know what I'm saying? It's bound to happen. You're going to get exposed to.
Which is why a lot of people have phobias about using public restrooms.
Yeah, off top.
In an emergency situation, I'm lacing that motherfucker. Let me gotta watch the person. I'm lacing that sapsucker with all kinds of toilet paper and everything. And right, and not only am I putting a barrier between my Johnson and the toilet bowl, I'm wrapping my thing with toilet paper 2 times over. You know what I mean? But that's only in emergency situations. But I'm gonna hold it till I can get to somewhere that is safe and comfortable, to where I can sterilize whatever type of thing I'm using. I'm talking about like home or a hotel.
Or just squat and stand up for your rights.
I mean, yeah, we squatting.
Yeah,
that is the hardest job to be balancing yourself.
I'm saying,
I've been the wingman.
And don't touch the toilet.
I've been the wingman for a woman pissing in the bathroom, and it's not pleasant.
You have to hold her hands.
All of that. We did. We did the whole what they remember back in the school when you had to
you had to squat with each other.
Like with the gym team and the girls doing the damn the cheerleaders and shit. Like, yes, that's not cool.
Okay, let me go through a couple more here. Myth number 4: you can only get HIV through anal sex.
No, hell no. Yeah, we know that's a lie.
Right, they say you can get HIV through a variety of sexual acts, such as oral, vaginal, or anal, as well as any other situations that exchange body fluids.
Yeah, if your eye is open and that monster spit, Rick, shut up.
Stop.
I'm just saying, I think HIV took on a whole new thing, when a certain basketball player was still around after so many years. So I think people just
some people like saying that never even happened.
Hey, I guess it really was a magician on the basketball court.
Stop.
Some people saying that's not even true. That never even happened. Some people saying he never even had it.
I believe that was an eye opener. Probably, for the public, an eye opener thing. There's always a motive, and the motive might be to get you on a certain drug. There's always a motive. Unfortunately.
So if we say that he never had it, then we can't say that a certain doctor cured it.
Ooh.
Remind me to talk to you in the after show, because I can't mention the name, but I can tell you the 2 that were deeply involved in the promotions. I just can't say it on here.
Okay.
Remind me to get it there. So, okay. All right. Here's the next one here.
Can we read
number 5?
Can we read a couple of the comments? Can we read a couple?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's see. Clayton Fairchild. I happen to have a unique perspective tonight. I'm with my wife right now, babysitting some friends of the family, high school kids, and they said that sex education is insanely limited coming from Texas and graduating in 2012. It's very shallow versus what I was taught and exposed to.
They are limiting.
My oldest son graduated in 2012. I wonder what.
I mean, I guess so. A lot of sex education happens at home.
Yeah,
my mama taught me at like damn. My mama taught me at like 7 or 8 years old. About a lot of things. Like she told me, hey, if a woman cutting up through denim, pack your shit and get the hell on. You know what I'm saying? She said if a woman is smelling or cutting up through denim, jeans, she said pack your stuff and get the hell on. My mama also told me if you when you go in a woman's house as a man, she said when you go in a woman's house, you look up under that cabinet, and if you don't see no dish or no hot water bag, you pack your stuff and you get the hell up out of there. So my mama taught me. Yeah, so my mama taught me about like maxi pads and tampons because I had sisters, and she was like, I might not be here, and this might happen while I'm not here because my mama was a single parent with multiple, with multiple jobs and 4 kids. So she was like, if this happened and I ain't here, you might be the one in position to have to show your sister what to do or this, that, and the other. So, hey, you learn a lot of stuff at home, man. And then, I'm just saying.
You learn a lot at home. You learn a lot at home.
But it also, I'm saying that to say that a lot of it started at home, and then at school, you may, depending on what school you went to, you may see some stuff in some books and you may not. I mean, we all know how the education system is. Where the money at, you get better education to where the money ain't at.
Yeah. Rick did the sex education in our house. Listen, I never knew what a blue waffle was.
No,
disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I still don't. And I still don't.
It's okay, baby. You don't need to worry about what it is.
You don't need to worry. I didn't know that.
Go ahead and type it in the private chat. Type it in the private chat. Somebody let me know what that is.
I'm a game from day one.
Okay, somebody type that in the private chat for me. Okay. All right. And while Shannon's doing that, let's go to this next one. Myth number 5. Okay, certain sex positions can prevent pregnancy.
False.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, if you stick it in, you'll win.
Hey, because so I know a lady who her son was conceived based off of a man who was so excited that he finished before they even got started, and that's how she got pregnant.
Oh, that premature stuff.
Yeah. Right. But he finished. He finished in like literally like in her lap or however that worked, or maybe he was rubbing it and tugging it or whatever. But he finished prematurely, and that woman ended up pregnant and had a whole son.
Yeah, because of the mobility.
Right.
As long as it has a way to swim, it's gonna go.
Okay. Well, here's what they say.
Yeah.
They say, fact, you can get pregnant standing up, sitting down, in a headstand, or jumping while having sex. Any sex where the penis enters the vagina can lead to a risk of pregnancy. There has been no research to show that any positions are better or worse for getting pregnant. So make sure to use birth control if you don't want to conceive.
Right.
Or some type of contraception.
Yeah, they used to say, yeah, because they used to say that you couldn't get pregnant if you had sex while you was standing up.
What?
Because they talking about gravity. They talking about gravity.
Yeah.
But if the
That's what they used to say
motility,
up in the hood.
if the motility is working,
Yeah,
if that tail on that something going like this here, if that tail on that thing going like this here, he going up in
Gravity,
y'all better get y'all shoulder roll on.
Gravity ain't got nothing on fluid. Gravity ain't got nothing on fluid.
Oh, in reference to Blue Waffle, Clayton Faircloth says we don't speak about the forbidden dessert.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Those sperms got mobility, Mike.
I need to click and see what that is. I'm scared to click it though.
Tanya, wait.
It's not a picture.
Tanya, how long ago has it been since?
Okay.
It's not a picture. It's just the slang definition.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually not. I was looking through, and it said it's actually a fictional STD. It's not a real thing. So breathe easy, guys. Breathe easy.
Okay, that's enough.
Asthma is real.
Asthma is real.
I've seen enough.
Listen, it had our boys scared. It had our boys scared.
I mean, you know.
Do what you gotta do, right?
Hey, what's going on? All right.
Look, I told them I'm a
Hey, real quick. Hey,
wrap
I know we was
up.
talking about which ones can and can't, but who is this? Clayton Faircloth said, but on the flip side to all of that, there are positions that can help increase pregnancy chances.
Yeah, I heard that too. Missionary with your butt propped up, and then like your do like this, like it helps. It's gravity if you don't have any mobility.
That upside
mobility Mike.
Hey, so let me ask this question. Because in the military, they say if you're trying to decide the sex of the baby that you're trying to have, in the military they say if you work under a radar or work close to a radar, that's how you end up with girls or daughters. So what are the myths? I'm asking this question to the group. Okay. What are the myths about which positions or what you can do to heighten your chances of having a boy or a girl?
I remember hearing sometimes it'd be like the foods you ate, but I don't remember what foods was associated with it. I think like strawberries or something, like berries were more related. Like if you like ate more berries or something like that. I heard some weird stuff growing up. Okay. You know, Texas are weird. We're just like, if you do this in the cornfield after a certain time.
Okay, I got one more, and then I got another whole little small set of them. Okay, here's the last one from this particular article. Myth number 6 is the longer the duration, the better. What do you think about that before I tell you what they say?
I mean,
not necessarily. I mean,
depending on the person.
I met a few women that they were what they call orgasmatic. That they literally have like multiple orgasms, and it didn't take long at all. I mean, like I'm not even in there good, and they're off to the races without you. They left out because they having 3 or 4 or 5 orgasms to my little one.
He said orgasm.
Hey.
Orgasmatic 9000.
That sounds like some Dexter the Laboratory type shit there. But, no, so
women are not you born with this.
I will back him up on that. There are different types of people, different types of folks who respond differently to certain stimulation. So there are some who go, and that's just them, right? Depending on whether it's their mental or whether it's their physical, right? Because everybody had different nerve endings and sensations and everything else. That is possible. I agree with what he's saying, but on the flip side, you know, no, I ain't even go there. Y'all go ahead and finish your conversation.
I don't think you can compare
Build
the
it up.
quality of
Just some
the
leads.
sex to
I mean,
the amount of time
I
you're
think
having it.
I agree, Tiana.
It's
I
either going to be
agree. I
really
think
good for
that
a long time or really bad for a short time or vice versa.
Yep.
right.
People are
I
different,
agree.
though.
But if it's bad for a long time, it's up to you to stop it. Don't forget that, kids.
Not well. I
True,
mean, but
true.
it is different because it you know,
Get out means you might be going through the window.
some folks start out really moisturizing, and then depending on how long you're going, it may dry the hell out, you know what I mean, and then it becomes unpleasant, you know. Some people want you to go. I can tell you this though, based off of past experience, long time ago, that that you can sit there and think you finna sit there, because most people, I want a man that can go all night. BS.
No, you don't.
I got stuff to do. No, thank you.
Right, exactly. So you have some that want it they want you to go within 5 to 15 minutes. Then there's other ones that want you to go a little bit longer. But I can tell you this, if you give somebody a certain amount of time that ain't used to having it, you got a crazy and a psycho on your hands. I will tell you that, and that's facts.
So that's transitioning from 4-play to 5-play to 6-play, etc. and so on.
No, I'm just telling you, you give somebody that ain't used to, you give somebody 40 minutes that's only used to getting 15. You better go fucking hide.
They're gonna need a wheelchair.
Hydrate, my friend.
They're gonna need a wheelchair. They're gonna
Somebody
need a
needs
wheelchair.
lights.
Okay, let's do this.
If you're
back in the day, you try to make them tap out.
Well, let me tell you what they said.
Hey, hold on. Y'all about to read the chat?
Well, let me tell you what they said about it first before we go to the chat.
Okay, go ahead.
They said the length of sex depends on the couple and the situation. There is no best duration. In fact, the commonly desired duration of sex is known to be somewhere between 7 to 13 minutes long, meaning that good sex isn't necessarily longer. That's what they said.
It depends, because if you have that communication, if you're giving off those vibes, if you're communicating during sex, knowing what to say, knowing how to say what you say to prolong it, to keep him or to keep him strengthened, and to keep her leaking, enjoy it as long as you can, because that's also a spiritual moment as well, because you're sharing vibes. You're prolonging the electricity. Then sometimes it's not always going to be that way, but as long as some juices is flowing, and that strength is carrying on, enjoy it as long as you can.
I'm thinking you're lying, because I'm looking over here at her face and it's not saying you're telling the truth.
Hey, look here. I'm not going to tell everything, nor should she, and nor will she.
Hey,
I sure won't.
Somebody feel the spirit coming. Hey, but
okay.
Hey, I'll say this here. The question would be, what do people consider sex? Because some people consider the foreplay as a part of sex. So when somebody be like, "Oh, we did it all night," y'all kiss for 30 minutes, then y'all fondled for another 30 minutes, y'all had sex for about 10, and then because it was only 10 minutes, they went back down there and started doing some other foreplay type of action to make up until they can rebound and come back again. So I guess what is actually considered what are you basing the time off of, or what are they basing the time off of? What's all considered part of it?
Yeah. I think that's why they say the duration is 7 to 13 minutes long, because of all that combined, it without trying to prolong things. That is probably the gist of what goes on.
Just the actual intercourse itself.
Right. Mm-hmm. I got another group of little myths over here, and I only see maybe one or two that is similar to the other list, and I'm going to give credit to WHPS. What is this? Wellness and Health Promotion Services, University of Central Florida, for this particular article. First myth: oral sex is safe sex.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no. You know how people got people got them white things in the back of their throat?
Wait a minute.
It's them damn lymph nodes in the back of your throat that be having the white dots and shit back
Tonsils.
there. I don't know what it is. What that one girl say, the little thing in the back of your throat is you know, and then the little things on the side of it be all got white push bumps. Yeah, that's nasty.
What about it?
That's nasty. That's why you talking about it's safe. It ain't always damn safe because people got them damn white pus bumps back there.
Tonsil stones. They're called tonsil stones.
Oh, they're saying that oral sex is safer if you choose to engage in sexual activity, but sexually transmitted infections can still be transmitted by oral sex due to the exchanging of bodily fluids. So it might be safer, but still.
They taught us about dental dam. You name me one person that ever used some damn dental dam.
Do they even make dental dam anymore?
My aunt used to.
I'd be damned if they make dental dam anymore. Rick, shut up.
That is the only time I've ever heard of dental dam was from my aunt. That's it.
I never heard of diddle dam.
I remember they came and talked about it in school. They talked about it in school.
They talked about it, but I ain't never. You don't see that sitting on the counter where you see condoms and contraceptives.
Right. I've never actually seen it.
Now I done seen plenty of people pull out some saran wrap.
And I bet, hey, Michael, and I bet, Michael, and I bet they were glad.
Hey, I'm just saying. Or maybe they middle of last name was Reynolds, but anyway.
I don't like neither one of y'all.
Check please.
All right, they so ugly tonight.
Tashiba said, I don't like neither one of y'all. Okay, let's go to the next one, y'all. Myth number 2. You can tell if someone has a sexually transmitted infection.
No.
Hell no.
False.
Did you say you can smell if someone has it?
You said no.
You can smell it and you can see it. Hold on. That odor, which turns into when that aroma turns into an odor. My dad taught me, if you get that odor and it's in the pit of your stomach and like the center of your abdomen is like hurting, run. What did mama say, Michael? Run.
Yeah.
Stuff.
If a girl cutting up
that doesn't mean that they have a sexually transmitted disease.
Y'all see the TikTok video where it has the music and it goes run, and then they start running.
Right. That's when old dude was throwing them bombs and shit everywhere.
Because she has a bomb on it. She has a timer. Or a time bomb.
Now let's say this, because a lot of the jokes are catered toward, women and smells, but men have smells too.
Men too. It's in the semen.
Men have smells too. So, ladies, you go down there and a man and it don't smell like what you normally.
It ain't happen.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
It should not.
And people out there in the audience, we'll go to the chat again in a few minutes, but we're actually giving you all this information as helpful to you. These are helpful tips, just FYI. Now, Shannon, what were you saying?
Well, I'm saying there's certain smells that will tell you if it's a sexually transmitted disease, but if it's in the middle, like for example, if it's in the middle of summer and you're sweating, like we shouldn't be like shaming bodily odors either. Like things can be washed away, but you got to make sure it can be washed away.
Shit, no,
Well,
go to the pool.
I'm ashamed about if I smell it.
Look here, I can tell you right now.
That's why they're starting to make deodorant for everything now instead of just
some
under our
things
arm.
cannot be covered up.
Right.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, make sure it can be washed away.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Make sure it can be washed away.
Right. And if it's not washed away and it's still hanging around, like
we need to have a conversation.
Yeah,
Somebody called the daughter, and it's probably you, honey.
Which is involving you go your way and I'll go
Obviously, somebody needs some more wine over there.
This damn Moscato is right.
It's sweet, so you could just keep drinking
I mean, it's my favorite wine. Yeah, it's my favorite. I just haven't had it in years. But go ahead.
I will say this: being fair, we all hear the commercials about the deodorant and the pH balance. The pH balance is a real thing.
It is.
A simple food can change your whole body odor.
If
a simple food,
body soap,
right? No, for real. Like a simple food can change the way that your semen tastes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know, you just gotta, you know, I guess it depends on your experience and your knowledge of certain things. But number one. Well, no, I can't say what somebody should or shouldn't be doing, but I was just gonna say, hopefully, but if you get somebody in that position that y'all feel need to wash your ass before you go do anything.
Aspirin, he said aspirin.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But
first of
but
all,
just washing your butt don't mean the inside.
Right. A lot of times.
Let me say this. I have an announcement. I will be continuing with Moscato next week. This is the new drink. Is I'm going to come back with Moscato. So just let y'all know.
Make sure you try Moscato.
Found the official drink of the show.
Right,
no, but make sure you try Moscato as well.
Which one is that one? Is that the same
red? It's the red version of Moscato, basically.
No, don't get it mixed.
It's a little rougher.
Oh, Mike, let me take it back real quick. Alcohol. y'all don't love me.
Y'all don't love me. Y'all don't love me.
You don't love me. Hey, bartender. Hey, man. Hey. Don't close my tab.
Y'all are crazy.
I'll say we're giving out tips.
I don't know.
If you're in doubt,
what?
Don't.
Hey, we gotta
Mike,
go.
You said something about the semen tasting flavors. So maybe I don't know anything about that.
You give your man pineapple or something sweet.
The flavors
so hold on, wait. Let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat to answer Bernard's question. Let's go to the chat to answer Bernard's question. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. I want to go back to what Clayton Fairclough basically said. Most of the when we were talking about radars and stuff, he said most of the radar stuff actually stems from research about guys who are more prone to prostate cancer. The radar radiation is linked to the rise of prostate cancer. Then Veronica, I don't know who she was responding to. She said people just need to catch the hell up. And then she kind of attaboyed Rick on what he was saying. And she was like, no, wake up, herpes on the mouth. Don't know what that was about.
Oh, that was about
we're talking about the oral sex.
Okay, the oral sex piece. Okay. And then Clayton came back and said specific ones you can tell, like gonorrhea and herpes. Yes. And I believe I think we were talking about odors at this point. And then Margo said, wow, y'all got jokes. And then he came back and said crabs as well. And then somebody said it hits you later, the Moscato. So whoever's drinking the Moscato, it said it hits you later. Tiana McCoy came back in and she said that is where the whole let me get in something more comfortable came from. Oh, with the Moscato.
So you go freshen yourself up.
Okay. With the
wash your yoni.
Yeah, go make sure you smell like something. Okay,
and
then
with the smell.
Yeah. And then Margo. So coming back to Bernard, Margo came back and said, just juices and berries. And then somebody said, and then Veronica came back and said, y'all trying to make my cousin an alcoholic.
2 words.
I know, because I didn't drink for many years. And
just don't hold Tanya's responsible, all right?
Right.
Get on this together.
We ain't drinking and driving.
It's now a word from our sponsors. Smoke liquor bull. Now let's
Whoa. Michael, you
Oh man, so let me Let's back up a little bit. So when a woman says she needs to excuse herself, you guys are going in the bathroom, washing up and cleaning up and getting things ready.
Absolutely.
Is that what? That's what's happening?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They putting powder on that thing.
No, we
No,
don't
not
put powder.
powder.
Powder turns into dough.
See how I put powder out there, and every woman on here was like, "Nah, we don't put powder on it. We put something else in it." Go ahead, tell us what y'all put in.
Powder is dangerous.
We hold it open and put some stuff directly into it. No, we don't.
I ain't trying to make no cookies.
A little bit. Make sure it don't smell like the day. Like y'all should do the same thing.
So y'all be like, okay, I need to.
Okay.
That's exactly that. We just.
Okay, powder turns into dough, and dough is Pillsbury, and we ain't trying to make no cookies, so that it ain't no powder. It's just, and then you just know already. Yeah.
What if your man says he's a baker's man and he needing his
go and freshen it up.
Baker's man
Freshen
needing
her
his
up a little
dough?
bit.
No, okay.
Yeah, you don't need yeast to have a cake.
Okay, let me get to one of these other things. Let's see where I left off.
So what about men and duck butter?
Yeah, you need to wash that too.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
You need to wash that too.
Yeah. After we get done freshening up, you go right back on in there behind us and freshen up too, please.
Hey, CDC. Hello, CDC.
Shannon, and thank you. And thank you.
Amen. Louder for the people in the back. Go wash that before you touch anybody.
I'm just being fair. That's why I said, what about men and duck butter?
Hey, real department. Yeah, you people acting up.
I was being fair because like I said earlier, a lot of times it's always catered towards women and whatever else, but men, there are men who stink as well. You know what I mean?
They do.
So because it is dietary. The dietary habits plays a huge part.
So
So like I was saying. It is the diet of the individual depends on the getting and the giving. Because from bladder infections or yeast infections or whatever the case may be, based on what I've read and studied, if the diet is not right, if there's no detox involved, if you're not giving yourself time to cleanse, you're going to give that to your partner.
Because I don't give a damn if you're male or female. If you eat asparagus, that's coming out. And I'm telling you now, asparagus is one of them ones that you cannot hide, male or female.
No,
that's true story.
Yeah, straight up.
Smell, taste, all that.
It's a repellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
the next one, Tanya?
What's
the next one?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I actually asking y'all a question, so you can.
Go ahead.
While I'm going over here to the myths. Okay. Number 3 is condoms means safe sex.
No.
No, they bust. They bust.
Depends on what kind.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't mess with lifestyles because lifestyles will change your lifestyle.
Hey, that's what they call lifestyle.
Yeah. That's why my son is here on Earth now.
Because
you put them on wrong, they can bust.
Yeah, lifestyles will change your lifestyle.
The extra thin. What is it? I don't know.
I see y'all ignore my statement in the chat. Somebody figure that out.
Are you talking about uncircumcised peoples?
Yes,
I'm okay with that. I like that.
But I'm saying when it comes to like cleaning of that.
That's really easy.
It's the same thing as an uncircumcised man.
I can tell you exactly how to
smegma. It's called smegma. The snot on the turtleneck. Rick, shut up, bro.
Well, Tiana say she could tell you exactly how to clean it. That's so we're gonna.
Tiana, we're gonna talk. I have a few people that you might have to go and speak with at some point.
Okay, so to clean it, essentially, your pee is sterile. So you pinch off the ends and let it fill up in there, and then you rotate the liquid, I guess is how you would say it, and then you do that a couple of times and you rinse the inside out.
Dear diary, things I've learned today.
Yeah, okay.
So she said, did you say pee on it and clean it out?
Pee is sterile.
Look at you.
So
the first few.
It's kind of like soap.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you pinch off the end of the uncircumcised penis, then it'll fill up inside, and then you can swish it around in there.
Okay,
Right.
Mouthwash.
so
Mouthwash
That's
for the
what they
Basically,
penis.
yes,
say.
mouthwash.
For another head. Mouthwash for another
no,
head.
Well, I'm
you
trying
pull
something else.
you pull the skin back, and that's
You
how you
can't
pull
always
it.
do that. I can't do that
Yeah.
because there's the muscle in there that's too tight. I can't do that. Oh, by
Okay.
the way, I'm trans. I don't know if you guys know that.
I like that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Okay.
But
But then,
I have a son that's
I'm circumcised.
uncircumcised.
I don't know
That's
about
what
that.
the doctor said we needed to do at the time to keep it clean, and that's what he does now as an adult. So
There are those
so
people that did not get that advice as a child, and so as they were growing up, they didn't get the opportunity to clean it that way, and as they grow up, it didn't allow the skin to stretch enough to not be painful when you pull it back over the head.
okay.
yeah, and
Okay.
then
And
So
so
so not
that's what
everybody
led.
has the ability to
Right.
go pulling back to be able to clean
Go
everything.
pulling inside.
that makes sense. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay. Well, I learned something today. Then thank you. No, like because everything
welcome.
that everything that I've seen or been taught was like that. You like that's where the whole term duck butter come from folks who ain't what I'm saying.
Cleaning it.
Right, the film that builds up from
Yeah.
folks, the folks that don't do whatever. So they tell you to pull back and whatever, but like not everybody is the same. So that makes sense.
I was really curious about that.
Yeah, I'm glad I got
honestly.
some new information.
Right.
Very
Me
Okay.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it came to condoms being safe sex, they say truth. The use of condoms during sex will indeed prevent you from getting a sexually transmitted infection and keep you from
No.
getting pregnant, but only when you use them properly. Pregnancy or a sexually transmitted infection may also occur if the condom breaks during sexual intercourse. Thus, it's important to choose the proper condom and wear it
Exactly.
correctly.
Yeah, don't choose lifestyle. I'm gonna tell you that now. That's wrong. Now I'm
Okay.
glad. I'm very glad that my child is here, and I'm very glad that he'll be 20 in December. But lifestyles change my lifestyle. So yes,
Yeah, clean it up, man. Clean it up.
selecting the right brand is damn sure important.
Huh? Okay, well, here's another myth. Myth number 4 on this list.
Trojan,
Okay.
brother.
Okay.
Well, also while we're talking about it, not all condoms do protect you. Like, make sure if you're trying to be protected from a sexually transmitted disease, you get a
Right.
latex condom, because other condoms do not necessarily protect you from sexually transmitted diseases.
Exactly. And then the thing said, and all condoms say it on there, from Trojan to lifestyle to Durex to the skin, whatever the hell that thing say, link skin, whatever it is. And tell you that these things do not protect against this, that, and the other. So you
Exactly.
alternative measures as well. So they do
All
say
right,
that.
so I'd like to go to chat for a minute because Clayton brought up
Okay.
a point.
Okay, go
If I
ahead.
may say, from my perspective, I think that I think sloshing using back and forth in your foreskin would lead to a potential UTI. But that's just me and just pulling back the foreskin and cleaning it. So whenever that's a really good point. Whenever you are doing that procedure, you know how you can stop yourself from peeing? If you're doing it midstream and you stop yourself from peeing and sloshing it around, you're essentially closing off the urethra, so it has no chance to come back until you let it out the rest of the way.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Message.
That's some interesting information.
Learning things today.
But the
See,
smell-
education rule the nation, baby.
Tea Time Science Academy.
Okay, well, check out this particular question right here. This is another myth, number 4. Only MSM, men who have sex with men, can get HIV.
Push.
False.
Who said that shit? Who said that?
That's an old myth.
Huh?
No.
Very old.
No. Again, we're
I don't
back
even
to
know how that's still a myth.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And of course, we know it says anyone who is sexually active can get HIV or sexually transmitted infection, regardless of their sexual orientation. And at one time, that was a myth that was out there. We have to look at that because there are some people who, in their mind, who are not educated, they still believe that that is actually real. So we have to address that.
That's
Here's another one. Myth number 5: pulling out before ejaculation is safe.
pre-jack.
I mean,
No,
Pull
you
out
can
game.
still get pregnant from pre-ejaculation.
Come on.
Pre-jack will get you.
Right, right. So they're saying men discharge bodily fluids before the ejaculation phase, and women also produce vaginal fluids during arousal. And the exchange of bodily fluids can cause pregnancy and or sexually transmitted infections, even if one pulls out before ejaculation.
Pops, what you say?
You got them
ejaculation doesn't make
swimmers, baby. Them swimmers keep swimming.
Yes, they do.
Right.
Yeah, ejaculate.
Backstroke.
Okay, and here is number 6. Well, we've already done this.
Connection.
Yeah, number 6, we already did. HIV can be translated through any bodily fluids. I mean, we know that. So there's no sense of me even going through that
Any
one
STD.
again.
Any
other, right, any other myths or anything that you all, like Bernard, you and I talked about a few when y'all were talking at first. I wanted to get to some of these that were can help our audience, but what are just some fun facts that you've heard out there and that people have thrown around for years just before as we start to wrap things up here?
I got one. I'm curious. Well, not curious, but the
Yeah, you are.
no, let me spit it. So the spaghetti myth.
Oh,
What's that? What?
The spaghetti myth.
Translate?
The red sauce myth.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Right.
that's voodoo, babe. That doesn't have anything
I
to do
know,
with sex.
But like the effect, is it? Who can confirm that? Can anyone confirm that?
I mean,
You can confirm it.
it may not be a lie. Oh, stop!
I'm just playing. I wouldn't do that. I'm just playing. I
I'm
just
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to reaction at you.
I'm trying to step it out the window immediately. He said,
What
no.
does the marriage license say?
How many years?
The enemy is in your house, my brother.
well,
But I know someone who did do that. I have a cousin who did that, but that relationship
really?
ended. It ended with him being obsessive over her. So
Be careful what you ask for.
Oh.
Be careful.
yeah.
That's
What
what
you call
happened.
to you?
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous, especially when it's forced.
Yeah.
Anything that's forced is dangerous.
Yeah, and
Anything that
especially
somebody
when you don't know what
calls
you're
to
doing.
them?
When you're dibbling and dabbling in something that you don't really know anything about, yeah, that could
People with those
potentially be
ties that make ties to people, any of that, you don't know what you're calling to you. And I
Exactly.
believe that wholeheartedly. You know?
Right.
Exactly.
Mhm. So, well, any other myths or anything as we come down to the closing of this? I sure hate that me and Moscato have to end. We've had
You have a backup friend.
So one of the things that I've always been at, or
Right.
one of the
So
things
what
that
about
I have always been accused of is because of my transition, I would have to have a high sex drive, and it's not
Right.
exactly that. It's my sex drive has gone down in my transition.
Why do you think that is?
Really?
I know why it is. It's because of the meds that I'm on. It lowers my testosterone, which means that I just don't have the drive to do it. So trans people are not sexual deviants, is what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Is that
And
something
I'm
that
gonna. Okay. Okay, right. Go ahead, right.
I was asking? Is that something that you want to have the sex drive or to heighten it? Is that something that you would like?
I'm indifferent about it.
Interesting.
Tiana, I guess I hope I can ask you this. Are you planning to fully transition? Are you in the works of it? Or are you just not concerned about moving too fast on that?
I love this question because all the men tend to kind of freak out. I can't wait to slice and dice the damn thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
And I have looked at different videos
Damn.
about how that is done.
Damn.
Yeah, I have seen some things about how it is actually done, and so is I mean, to me, I just feel like everyone needs to be who they want to be. So, and I actually wanted to educate myself because years ago, my gay friends in Austin, Texas, they used to educate me about things, and they were like, you don't need to be a single woman out here not understanding what's happening. Call me on the phone, get your ass over here. And to their parties, they wanted me to see everything. So my education started years ago. I saw the look in your face, and I'm glad that they did educate me about a lot of things. But I'm still learning, and I have questions here and there.
Yeah, because everything is changing, and it's what used to be isn't even in their community. I talk to my son a lot, and I'm just like, my tribe, I have a lot of um lesbian women, and some things I'm like, dang, I have to be, sometimes I feel like I'm walking on eggshells because I don't want to offend anybody. So,
Mhm.
because it's not the way it used to be. And so I talk to my son a lot because I just be like, look, is this appropriate or what? I don't
Right.
know.
And Shannon knows this about me because I've been very open about it over the years.
Mhm.
If you have a question, feel free to pass it on. I will give you an answer. I don't
Right.
mind answering the
Okay.
hard questions or the questions that you guys are like, should I ask this?
Right.
Ask them to me, and I will tell you yes or no, or you need to like leave it alone.
But of course, there's a way that you ask a question. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? I feel like there's an etiquette in that, not just coming down and just crashing glaciers and all that nonsense. It's all about presentation. You know what I'm saying? So if you really have an
Okay.
authentic want to learn something and truly learn something, then there's a way that you should truly ask out of
Right.
respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up.
I
Straight
do
up.
have a question, and this is way far off from everything that we've been talking about tonight. Um, like I look at the layout of LGBTQIA. How many things you think they're going to add to that? What do y'all
That
think?
part,
The
Yeah.
entire alphabet,
you
Yeah,
know,
it's a lot.
because
I've been trying
we
to
are
keep up.
people A to Z.
Yeah,
and then
I'm keeping up.
R2D2 and a whole some more numbers, and it's like, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Until the discrimination stops, we will
Hmm.
keep adding letters. So that way, you guys are more aware and more annoyed, and eventually, the environment, the population will get so annoyed about it and
Mhm.
irritated that it exists that they'll eventually say, okay, we don't care anymore, just stop, and it will stop.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think that in a few minutes, the vessel that we're in is not going to matter. I
It's
think the
not.
color of the vessel, the sex of the vessel, everything, we're not even going to need the vessel.
Uh-huh.
We're just going to be that spirit, what we are, what we actually are. And it's not going to matter all these vessels that we're in.
Mhm.
Okay, Michael. Yes, and that's what we're going to be in just a few moments. And I can't wait for that.
I don't
Honestly, I
know.
can't
Like I've always said it as a kid, you know, when the older generation die off, man, a lot of the stuff that we dealing with gonna die off with it.
Mhm.
That's
wait.
the way I feel. And as we starting to see now, man, like you have a lot of either like when in the realms of technology, they call them digital natives and digital immigrants, right? You got digital natives, the people that's born into the whole IT, digital, world, and then you have the digital natives, which are the ones that was born outside of that, who still need to be taught. That's why their grandkids go back and teach them and hook up their TVs and show them how to use phones and things like that. I say that to say this: we talk about the digital age, but when we're talking about the times, the people, society, and all of that, we're gonna have some natives and we're gonna have some immigrants, right? So there's gonna be some people that ain't died off yet, but their time is ending, and then the newness of everything will be either beginning or taking over. So that's my philosophy, or that's my perception on how things are going to play out once some of the older folks and the older ways and those people with that thinking
But I
die
think
off.
they're gonna have a
Some of the new
choice
stuff
because we're
does.
gonna raise vibrations. We're going to from a third to a fifth vibration,
Right,
and those who
right.
can't handle that fifth vibration, they are going to either die off or they're going to go to the other place, which I can't talk about on here right now, where that's designated to be, and they're going to give you a chance to raise your vibration to fifth dimension. If you don't, you fall back to fourth. That's another whole story right there. We are
Oh,
on the
that
verge of that right now.
yeah. So you're gonna have a choice. Watch this, y'all. So you're saying you're gonna have a choice to go from one vibration level to the next vibration level.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds similar to, some other stuff as well. You will have a choice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And see, right this moment,
y'all ain't ready for the deep. Oh, let me stop.
right?
Get
See
out.
what
Let me go.
it happens naturally. Like the way that I think, I see things so differently. I can look at TV, I can look at anything, and it happens just naturally right now. I don't have to think about it. It's just a natural life now. You can see through things very easily once you hit a fifth vibration. It doesn't. You don't waver with it. You just know that it's. You look at it a certain way. Third vibration still brings fear, worry, all kinds of stuff like that, confusion, all that.
It's
We're moving
such
away
a
from that.
good vibration. Come on,
Come on,
come
come
on,
on, come
come
on,
on.
come on, come on.
Such a
Ugly.
sweet sensation. Feel it, feel it.
But and my mic is dancing. So we started off tonight with wait a minute, Clayton is speaking. There's a few more comments in the
Yes, there
comment.
there are there are man, hold on. Somebody help me now, because I'm kind of go back and we just start talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes, we have.
We did.
Yeah,
Whoa.
we
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody. Yes, Veronica told
I was
somebody to take her
responding to
phone
Mike.
quickly.
I am fine. I am moscatoed up, but I am fine. I'm not out there like that.
And then I
It's just
think
moscato.
Margo said, "Don't let it be ashy either down there, dudes. Coconut oil, please." And then, okay, so and then brother-in-law Jacob said, "Rick, you're on tonight." Clayton came back and said, "Don't forget onions and kimchi." Yes, yes, I was in Korea, so kimchi will have you stinking, really, really bad. And then he came back and
No
said,
garlic.
and then Clayton came back and said, "If I may, from my perspective, that I think sloshing using back and forth in your foreskin would lead to a potential UTI, but that's just me. Just pulling back the foreskin and cleaning it thoroughly would be better. Would be a better idea. Again, it's just me." I think he meant to say urine and part of that. And then Tiana came back and said, "Also, I've never had a UTI." Some Look, it's a lot of dialogue going back on here,
Yeah,
so
right.
we're gonna go on. Well, on this one, I'm an exception to the rule. 5,000 times still strong, and I believe that's when we was talking about the pull-out
Pull
game,
out game because he's
right?
the pull out
Right.
king. Give
'Cause
that man his
he said
crown.
he was a pull-out king. So then, some young gentleman said, brought up about, so what about the myth that all women like to be eaten or ate out? And Veronica put a whole bunch of big eyeballs on there.
True.
I
Uh,
don't see that comment.
I don't see that comment either.
I
Somebody
y'all don't see
saw
block.
it.
Veronica's
I
eyeball,
saw
and
it.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
I
at
saw
YouTube
that.
here.
I
So
saw
Right.
that.
where am I blocked at? Who got me blocked?
Yeah, and then I guess Tanya, based off of how you drinking your drink, Margo said that you look real relaxed. And then someone asked the question: Is wanting to be pissed on considered nasty?
Somebody, aka you. Uh-huh.
And there was a lot of okays in there, and then nobody really responded to that. So
I did. I
okay,
just responded late.
oh, did you? Okay, and then I think I'm not. Y'all have to catch me up on some of this. So somebody said I think that non-binary kind of covers it all, and I think that's the whole point of the LGBTQ and all of the letters that they're being added on.
Mhm.
Um, Then Clayton came back and said, "Them alone. If it's not hurting you, let people live their life the way they want."
Absolutely.
And then Bernard came back and said, "Avatar body." And then, okay, there she goes. She said, "Some people like to go in the showers. Me personally, is nasty." So that was your response, right?
Yes.
Okay, look, don't nobody want to be R. Kelly all night.
Hey, what's going on?
I
Y'all
know
all right?
some people who
And then,
I know some people who like it. I think
and then I think Bernard came back and said, "Putting your mind in a robotic avatar." I don't know if I think I may have walked away on that one to go use the restroom.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah.
Probably transitioning from one state to the next.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. There
Okay.
you go. Yep, we were talking about that. Yeah. So, so that's it for the chat.
I'm still wondering who blocked me.
Say again, ma'am.
Oh no, that's his comments. For some reason, YouTube is blocking his comments.
Whose?
Yours, because they're not showing up on my screen either.
Or mine.
Really? No, I seen his comments.
I saw them. I saw them too.
Whoever was asking about the golden showers, I don't see their comments.
He didn't
Yeah, I see 'em.
he didn't say golden showers. He said, "Do some women like to be peed on?" I just responded with golden showers.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see.
Is that against the rules? Are we within the last 20 minutes? Maybe they monitoring us and cutting shit off.
Now, I see it over here, and actually, you all don't see it in the. You all don't see comments on StreamYard, do you?
No,
I have it pulled up on YouTube.
No, we got everybody got YouTube.
Okay, no, I'm saying within StreamYard, I see comments, and
I see it on StreamYard.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking
I
at.
see it there, but it's not showing up in the actual.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on both. Okay, so it's still fine. I'm seeing it on both. So that part is great. You know,
The privacy settings
on our it might be our privacy setting.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So as long as we still some of us are still seeing it, we're still in there. So all right, y'all, we gotta run towards the wrap, on this whole thing. Got started a little late tonight, some craziness. I swear up and down every time I hit that doggone button, it was not going live. And I was like, what was happening here? So it just was meant to be. Sometimes you just have to say, for some reason, we couldn't go on Facebook tonight. It just meant to be. But we normally go on Facebook as well as YouTube, and we will probably start Twitch soon. So we're going to transition out of this over into what's going on and everything. But let's take a moment. Get yourselves together, folks, while I do this. Hey, welcome back. It's funny because I know what you all see, what I see, totally different than what I had a chance to watch the show over the last days here. I've seen a lot of things, and so congrats to you all that we have made it to our point. Again, like I said before the show today, we have made it to our transition for the show, so give yourselves a hand as we will be doing more with said show, okay? All right, so what do you all have coming up this week? This is your time where you can talk about what's happening with your businesses and what you're doing out there in the world. So we're going to start off with Tiana Wildside. What you got going on this week?
So this week I have a whole bunch going on. I'm working on putting together a program for technical coding challenges and tests to be able to help my learners and potentially others to get past the technical interview and get into software engineering. So I'm putting together that program, and then I'm also freelancing on the side, building websites and all of that fun stuff. And then I'm looking for a job. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Tiana. How about you, Miss Shannon Element Rose?
So I've actually finished 2 paintings this week. Well, I'm working on wrapping the other one up, but I'm about to ship out the butterfly one, and I've got this one that I just got to touch up the bottoms for, and this one's going to be auctioned off. It was for the art show that I was in last weekend, I think. My weeks are running together. And then I've gotten some interviews for senior graphic designer positions lately. So, but I'm still trying to figure out if I want to stay out and be an artist or go back in for a couple more years and kind of stack up some money before I can leave out, you know? So, oh, and also I'm going to be going to Detroit probably later at the end of the month to go help another friend artist. He's going to have a big art show for himself. So I told him I'd come out and help him with some of the stuff that he's got going on. So that's probably going to be going on near the end of the month. And I still have that other art show that's happening. So I've got to submit art by the 10th. And that's a showcasing that's happening through September. So there's a bunch of moving parts going on right now. And I just feel like I said, I just feel like everything's kind of like falling into place.
All right. All righty then. Well, Michael, Mr. Turn 'em Loose, what you got going on?
I keep on falling in. No, let me stop. You said things are falling into place. It made me think of that song, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thanks.
No, but like I said, man, look, school, finishing school, the transitioning, Turn 'em Loose will be coming soon, and if not that, I'm about to retire. So it's a lot of things that I held back on. I'm about to go live at 5.
Yes, sir.
And just in case y'all did not know, I do stand-up comedy. So you just wait till that day come when I'm no longer affiliated with Uncle Sam. And that's all I'm gonna say.
All right then. We ain't mad at you. We ain't mad at you. All right, Pops, what you got going on this coming week?
Well, I'm looking to learn option trading. I got a course I'm going to be for like 4 or 6 hours tomorrow. Got my niece, she's having her birthday. So I was excited about that. They have their new show kicking up, Thicker Than Water, that showed on Amazon TV. So, you know, the family's doing their thing. Everybody's like got the entrepreneurial spirit. My son will be starting matriculating at TSU, Tennessee State University.
All right.
ABCU, baby.
All right.
And you know, I'm a proud father. And you know, I'm almost finalized on the book. So like I said, the date was scheduled to launch that will be around August the 15th. So I'll let you guys know exactly when it'll be on Amazon. And hey, that's it.
All right. Thanks for being here, Pops. Tashiba, what you got going on this week?
We got a wedding Sunday, and Savant starts school on Wednesday, and he turns 17. And let's see, got some candles and just trying to find my flow again, because I said my days are really full these now, and just trying to find a new groove.
Okay. I'm glad that you there. How about you, Rickness? What you got going on?
Getting back into the flow of art, finding my balance again. You know, it has its own process. It has its own way of reinventing itself from within. That and I'm taking another venture regarding my voice. Using that as a tool, just been told over the years, you should perhaps consider using your voice for this, that, and the third. So finally sat down with myself and just, hey, why not? So there's more ways than one. We have more than one talent. We have several talents. We just have to tap into it or just recognize what it is and just take that step, take that risk, get out of the comfort zone. Yeah, and I'm excited actually. Yeah.
Wonderful. I got some things going on. I hear some feedback, y'all. I can replay my social media, and then I'll tell you what's going on with me. So first of all, check out social media for Tanya J as well as Tanya M. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media. All right, welcome back as we get ready to wrap up here. We're bringing back the Soul Spotlight this week. August 11th, coming up, we got Gilbert Glenn Brown from the CW show Star Child, as well as the Aretha Franklin movie Respect. Gilbert Glenn Brown, if you're not recognizing him, this is this man right here. He is going to be on the spotlight with me, and so we're going to do that this week. Also, coming up the following week, I got from the OWN Network. The OWN Networks, remember, welcome to Sweetie Pies. Well, I got Miss Sweetie Pie herself is coming on the show, so we're going to have her in an interview as well. So we got a lot going on with the Soul Spotlight coming really, really, really soon. So stay tuned for all of that. And also, if you want to be on the show, and you know, of course, next time I'm going to block out the sides because y'all sitting on the side. I really need to do a full picture, but coming up in the next weeks, we got a lot of folks going to come on the Soul Spotlight, even some people here on the living room. So it's all starting to go into place. And actually, we're going to speed it up more. You're going to see more of the shows in general. Now I've moved into the next phase here. And so we will see a whole lot more shows. And I've been gearing up to rerun all the things that we have already done. So it's a lot, y'all. Just bear with me. It's a lot of work that I have to do, and it is happening slowly but surely. We're moving in there. Big ups to my manager, Leology Management, who's coming through doing this thing with me, and also big ups to Raphael of 2R's Entertainment as we are getting this thing done. Thank you all for being here and bearing with the delays and all that we had here, getting things rolling on our Imitates Live here on the Soul Spotlight on the living room. And also Who Spiked the Tea. I think that might be the name. Is that the name of the segment? Who Spiked the Tea?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who Spiked the Tea? That's what's going to do. So I'll work on hall opening for that this week. And like I said, rough start. Thanks for hanging in here with me. And we just did our YouTube tonight. But we will be back doing YouTube, Facebook, and maybe Twitch soon. Thank you, Living Room team, for being here on the show and dealing with everything that we do, with everything that we go through, and bringing to me what you all have going on as well. All right. And wait a minute. I think she's going to make an appearance before we go. Rock! She's making an appearance. Hello, right before we get out of here. So, again, thank you all out there for tuning in. I get some feedback. Turn your speakers down. And also for being in the chat. All of you out there in the chat who participate with us every week, we really appreciate you very, very, very much. Okay. So I thank you all again. I'm Tanya Dixon. This is the Living Room team. You all have a beautiful week. And of course, we shall see you next time on Art Imitates Live. See ya.
Yeah.